In the fall of 2020, Natalie and I went on a great American road trip down Route 66. We left St. Louis with our aims on Big Bear, California. This wasn't the first time we made this trip, but it would be the first time we were able to stop along the way. So one of the many places that we stopped at on this trip was Flagstaff, Arizona, and right before that we had just left Gila Cliff Dwellings, which was a super cool place. It was abandoned dwellings that were essentially made in the side of the rock walls, which was awesome. They were only there for 20 years, which was pretty crazy, but it was super duper cool.
Yeah, like the amount of work that went into all the different rooms for this little dwellings area was insane. And then these people just made them and left after 20 years, and no one knows why.
Which was crazy. And then when we left, there was a really long drive to get to Flagstaff, Arizona. So we saw a really nice sunset. And another thing that happened on that drive was that Natalie found a walking haunted ghost tour around Flagstaff because supposedly it was super haunted. So when we got to Flagstaff, we stopped at the visitor center, which was built on the same space as the old railroad station. It was built in 1926, and it was technically the first stop on this ghost tour. We stopped there to get a pamphlet of information for the rest of the tour, and also because it was the first site on the tour. And as I said, it was built over the old railroad station, and a brakeman was crushed there between two boxcars, so staff often experienced eerie feelings and hearing people and having doors get locked, so haunted. And we also realized, or were told, that a lot of the places on this journey were going to be closed because of COVID. The second stop, though, was the Monte Vista Hotel.
Okay, so this place, it's common to hear strange noises and find furniture moved, according to employees.
So after there, we continued our stroll and arrived at the Hotel Weatherford.
Yes. And here, there's a female ghost sighting that is often seen gliding through the dance floor in the ballroom. There's like a whole level dedicated to the ballroom, so people can see it from outside.
So,
next is Orpheum Theater.
Yeah, this was actually a really cool building. It had a giant mural on the side. It was well decorated.
Yeah.
Supposedly there's a ghost that hangs out in the balcony who's been roaming the empty aisles and being spotted by the janitors for quite a while. So that's pretty crazy. Crazy.
What's next?
And then right down the road from that was the Doris Harper White Community Playhouse, which has 3 spirits. And the first is of a kind old lady that sits in on rehearsals.
Okay, and then the second one is the ghost of an old man who is regularly seen wandering through the basement. And then the third one seems to have a bit of a temper, such as reports have said, and is believed to be the young man that hung himself. So he often scares employees.
And then we've got the public library, which was yet another thing that was built on top of another thing, and that other thing was the haunted thing. But the public library was built on the site of the old Emerson School, and at that school a custodian killed his family and then killed himself. And then the very last stop on this little walking haunted tour was the Milligan House, which was just kind of a house on the corner, and it is said that the original owners of the house haunt it. The wife plays pranks with a coffee maker.
I mean, people can hear her like walking around her bedroom on the second floor. But yeah, nothing else pretty crazy there.
Yeah, so not too many crazy things at that little house, but be interesting to actually go into these places. And
yeah,
Natalie is super interested in seeing
I
some
want to see a
ghosts.
ghost. Like, I've just heard a lot of stories, and I just don't know if I believe in them or not. So I just want to see one, you know?
Yeah, I hear
Find
you.
one.
So maybe we'll go back to Flagstaff, do this tour, see one of these spirits or ghosts, or stop by Jerome, Arizona, which is supposed to be
yes.
super haunted.
Yeah.
But anyway, that'll be another trip for another day. We are going to head to the Grand Canyon now.
Woohoo!
Goodbye.